Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for the first possible drama for Neverness to Everness. And this is a drama that isn't related to content creators. It's not related to anything going on outside the game. It's entirely based off of one thing: rewards and potential CN favoritism. Because there's been a lot of compensation that's actually been releasing over in the Chinese version of the game. You can actually see over here, just 13 hours ago, there was something pretty goddamn big announced. And we'll just go ahead, we'll pop it open over here so you guys can go ahead and take a look. Dear appraiser, since the open beta launch, that's what every Chinese game calls their release, at least in CN, they call it an open beta for some reason, of Alien Ring. That's a mistranslation or of this AI. Basically, they had some launch issues. They have some stuff that they're improving. They have some stuff that's getting better. Things like optimization, emergency internal discussions, all of that stuff, optimizations and bug fixes. You can see it all over here. They've decided to give out some compensation. One S rank permanent character selection box. You can kind of see what's going on over here. They're getting a free 5-star selector on top of the one that's already in some of the baseline rewards of the game, and on top of obviously the massive number of pulls that are being given out. They're giving out one of these. But it turns out that CN, when it comes to these compensation rewards, this isn't the only thing that they've gotten, ladies and gentlemen. They've actually gotten more. It actually turns out that on top of that free 5-star that was just given out, they've already given out in CN just a raw 10 pull in the mail. And so that makes basically the starting rewards for every CN account at this point in the game. They just straight up have like 20 pulls, the free 5-star selector, all of that stuff, arguably at a level that's comparable, if not better than Wuthering Waves at its release. And we all know when it came to those rewards, right? Those launch compensation rewards in Wuthering Waves, those were available for quite a goddamn while. And they were, of course, available to everybody on the globe. And the situation over here is that they haven't clarified whether or not these rewards are going to be given out for global, because NTE has done a very, some would say it's kind of like the opposite of a pro gamer move. Some would say it's kind of like a dumbass decision. But what NTE did was they staggered their CN and global releases. You can actually see over here that NTE officially launched in China as of April 23rd, 2026, and the game is actually currently live. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a Bilibili account and you're willing to risk some crazy ping, you can actually go play it. And the situation over here is a bit rough, right? Because you can see that the global release is slated for later tonight. Later tonight actually launches at like 7 p.m. my time. And that means that there's potentially an excuse over here, right, for not giving out those rewards to global. And a lot of people have called into question the decision to stagger the release in the first place, because it naturally means that CN's almost permanently gonna have like a 6-week increased, or not 6-week, but like 6-7 additional days to just go ahead and play all of the new updates, the new trailers, all of that stuff before anybody else in the world has a chance to even see it. And this is the thing, I'm like, that's literally what it is. It's 6 to... Anyways, the point that I'm trying to make over here is that there's a big opportunity over here for Perfect World and NTE to like fuck up. And the fuck up over here would be not giving out these exact compensation rewards that CN has been getting, not giving them out to global as well. Because one thing when it comes to these gacha games and when it comes to developer generosity and all of this stuff over here is that players hate when one region gets favoritism over the other, because it feels like, right, you're almost like a second-class citizen when the only thing that you happen to share with this other part of the population is that you're just playing the same goddamn game as them. And CN, ladies and gentlemen, has already gotten a fair amount of favoritism by being able to access the game a whole week, a whole 7 days before anyone else on the globe already has. And if we have a situation over here that on top of that, we're missing something like a free 5-star selector, we're missing the free 10 pull over here. And I think like actually this, like apparently there's like another 800 that isn't accounted for as well in some of the compensation that CN has been getting. Guys, let's just be honest here. That would be a very bad look. First, the global release is delayed by a whole week, and then we're missing like up to 15 pulls as well as a free 5-star selector. That's rough. That's a lot to come back from, and that's of course going to smear the reputation of this game, and it will be nothing that anybody did other than the developers. It will be entirely the developers and the publishers' fault. And the most recent example of a game that displayed this level of absurd favoritism, well, you gotta look no further than this, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all remember Black Bacon, the game that had so much potential? This is what Black Beacon did for its rough launch. The CN server got things like a 5-star selector, 20 limited polls, and an actual apology reward sent directly in-game with a 30-day claim window. Global got this instead. 30 standard polls, only through code redemption, and the codes expired within 3 days. All of their shit, all of this stuff, right? 30-day claim window. And then Black Beacon was 30 standard pulls, which is just straight up worth less than all the shit that you're seeing over here, right? Because it's a 5-star selector for a standard unit. 30 standard pulls is obviously fucking worse than that, because that's what do you're trying to get this with the standard pulls. And then expiring within 3 days? Yeah, it really did feel like simply being a Black Beacon player that wasn't located in China, you were a second-class citizen. And what did that mean? People quit the game in droves. They were just like, okay, I'm good. Clearly, you're just using global to like fund a unequal experience where CN is always going to have stuff better. There's no actual reason for why CN should have things better. You're just basically saying, hey, we're just gonna have the Chinese experience of this game be far better than global. And guess what? In the good old 2026, people don't like that. People view that as the new reputation of the game, and that's one of the big reasons, at least in my opinion, that Black Beacon actually EOS'd. And you'll notice over here that Black Beacon negativity videos, right? Those were kind of like the only ones that you saw. I think we all remember the quote-unquote doom posting that occurred for the game. That wasn't actually doom posting because the game actually died. It's no longer in service. It has been out of service for months at this point. The headquarters are apparently like empty over there and everything too. And what sucked was that this game actually had an insane amount of potential. If you actually saw the gameplay of Black Beacon and all that stuff, it was something that actually could have been great. But the reputation that it obtained in the global side due to this rampant level of CN favoritism, unequal rewards, like literally, like in terms of grindability, like you were like months behind compared to other players. So many people refunded because they're not willing to invest time in a title that's going to treat them worse on the basis of ethnicity. I mean, it's a crazy concept to think about, right? But that was what people were concerned with. And NT has already done something not nearly at the same level, right, as Black Beacon, but they've already done something to favor CN. And if they do it like this too, rob global of a 5-star selector, rob global of these 10 pulls that you're seeing over here, rob global of the other 800 as well, guys, this could just be a rerun. Though instead of being a rerun of a character, it could just be a rerun of Black Beacon. And that's what I'm really concerned with. Because NTE also appears to be a game with a lot of potential. But if this is the reputation that it's going to have on release, brother, people are going to drop this game in droves. Just like they did with Black Beacon. Because people aren't in the business over here to be mistreated on something as ridiculous as where you happen to be playing the game and what language you know. And this is one of the shiny examples over here, Black Beacon Global, of like what not to do. And I guess the thing is that there hasn't been any announcement at all from NTE's global side. The only bit of like reassurance you have over here is Gateoo. Fucking Gateoo is the only guy you have as reassurance here. And Gateoo has self-admittedly, openly said that he's racist. against everyone that isn't Chinese. This is the guy that's self-admitted online on numerous occasions to just being openly racist to people that aren't Chinese. And then he's the one saying that Global is apparently going to get equal treatment. Yeah, I don't know about that one, brother Matt. And if you're looking for the proof of all the shit that I'm saying right now, brother, you gotta look no further than this. Get ready. We got a 4-hour VOD over here. Guys, this is a 4-hour, 145K view video of Gateoo on call with Tectone. And this is, let's just look up the word racist.
LOL. No, I'm being dead ass. He says that he's racist and he thinks that all Chinese people are as well.
I do. That deserves apologizing.
Well, I mean, you said that all Chinese people are racist.
And?
So you can naturally see that this shit comes up like 71 fucking times, and like he just confirms it over there. We could look for other sound bites. Do I need to, though? Do I need to? Not really, right? This is the person over here that's trying to, like, I guess, represent NTE and say that Global's gonna be treated the same, and then he's like just on the record saying that like everyone in China is racist, so it kind of like oil and water, right? The takes are like oil and water over here. That's the guy that's saying this. I don't trust him. You can probably understand why I don't trust him. And I think it's fair for me to have that fucking take. Maybe I'm out of pocket, but that's the memory that I have when it comes to Gateoo as a content creator. I'll believe it when I see it. However, we do need to talk about the potential upside over here, ladies and gentlemen. NTE has the opportunity to flip the script completely. They had the opportunity over here to actually be known as a company that made Global a better experience despite the fact that it launched later. We clearly already see over here that there's half a 10 pull, 5 pulls over here. And then we saw for this video, there's another 10 pull over here. And then we have, obviously, right, the announcement that there's a free 5-star selector. If all of these rewards are available to every Global player the second the game launches later tonight, this will arguably make the game one of the most Global friendly launches, or really just one of the most free-to-play friendly launches we've ever seen. Because the pre-registration rewards for this game, I do believe, include a 10 pull of some kind. You get the 10 pull from here, and then obviously the 5 that you just saw before down here, and that's close to 15, potentially 25 pulls that every player is going to have for the purpose of, and we all know what everyone does when a game launches, re-rolling. For the purposes of re-rolling for this character over here, the debut banner of this game. And apparently, according to Pridewood, she's like a tier 0 unit or some shit. Obviously very, very, very strong as the first limited character. And guess what? You're guaranteed on rate. So simply getting the 5-star in the first place, well, ladies and gentlemen, that means that you're able to, well, you're guaranteed to get her. So you combine all these different factors for the Global release, right? Those 15 additional pulls combined with obviously the guaranteed S rank, so you can get whatever teammate you're looking for to fill out that last slot. You're gonna be able to reroll pretty goddamn effectively, as far as I'm concerned, and basically start off the game, as long as you're willing to invest in like a couple of different emails or something like that to create a few NTE accounts, you should be pretty much good to go. And if that's the move that NTE decides to make, I think that people will find it very easy to look past the first bit of favoritism that we've already seen. I think people will be able to look past the fact that these guys decided to go ahead and already show that CN's slightly better before the game is even released in the first place, right? They've already decided to do that. And the thing is, guys, they're already in a hole. Because they did this. They released the CN version a week early. And the fact of the matter is that they can't really afford, at least from what we've seen before when it comes to games like Black Beacon, they can't afford to dig any deeper. But giving out these rewards to every Global player on release giving out the free 5-star, giving out all of this stuff, I think that's something that does the opposite of digging a hole. I think that's something that actually lifts them out of it and potentially actually makes the global release better than the CN release. And that would be something crazy, wouldn't it? Maybe that would be something that actually pisses the CN players off. But, you know, considering the performance that we see from the game in CN, maybe that's a risk. Maybe that's a risk that's worth taking for them. So in this situation, ladies and gentlemen, I actually do want what this racist guy says to be true. I would love if Gateoo was right in this circumstance. But in this circumstance, I can't really trust any goddamn thing he's ever gonna say because of his past history and, of course, just his overall goofiness as a content creator. But if it does actually pan out this way, NTE could flip the script completely and actually have a better global release than CN release. And that would be fucking insane considering that there's been a week gap between the two already. And I think that this would actually make sure that players, even if they were pissed off, right, about the favoritism that already got shown, I think they would be able to look past that, especially considering how much better the day one experience in Global is going to be compared to CN. That's my personal take. So really, perfect world, NTE, they're at a crossroad right now, right? You guys know that meme, right? Where it's like one is like sunshine and rainbows. I think this one is the sunshine and rainbows. And then the other one is like this haunted castle, like hell, basically, right? They have a decision to make over here. Is it going to be sunshine and rainbows by giving out the compensation day one? Or is it going to be hell by showing a massive amount of CN favoritism on day 0 of the global release? Because if they do, guys, people are just gonna not pay in the first place. People are gonna like boycott the game. Oh, and if you thought Black Beacon's content surrounding the CN favoritism and global getting shafted, if you thought that was crazy for Black Beacon, bro, this game was like an undercover title. This game was like, didn't even have that much hype, and people were still schizoing out like crazy over the CN favoritism. And for a title like NTE that's been marketed this much, has had this much of a budget on it, and of course this many ads running, the fallout is going to be nuclear if they don't follow through. And this is going to be the situation, ladies and gentlemen. Who do you think is going to be at the front lines of that? Because I'm not sponsored. Because I don't need to be sponsored to maintain my channel. And that means that I can tell the truth. And you already know, ladies and gentlemen, that there are going to be a bunch of CCs already that are already bought out by NTE. And they're not going to be able to tell the truth. And so naturally, we'll call out a couple of those creators as well. But the fact of the matter is, this game has the potential to end its service immediately. And if they do the dumb ass fucking decision of not giving these out to global, I think it's safe to say that the fate of this one is already sealed. Because we've already seen what happened before for a title that was arguably giving out less. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out.